From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
A man is dead after a shooting on I-65 near downtown. Now on Daybreak, how troopers hope people driving by can help with the investigation.
A longtime local leader gets ready to step down. See what Carmel Mayor Jim Brainerd has to say as he prepares to speak to the city for the final time.
The Colts win in overtime in a Tennessee thriller ahead. The comeback for the team's fourth victory in a row.
Audible's romance collection has something to satisfy every side of you. When it comes to what kind of romance you're into, you don't have to choose just one. Fancy a dalliance with a duke, or maybe a steamy billionaire. You could find a book boyfriend in the city and another one tearing it up on the hockey field. And if nothing on this earth satisfies, you can always find love in another realm. Discover modern rom-coms from authors like Lily Chu and Ali Hazelwood, the latest romantasy series from Sarah J. Maas and Rebecca Yarros, plus Regency favorites like Bridgerton and Outlander. And of course, all the really steamy stuff. Your first great love story is free when you sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com/Wondery. That's audible.com/Wondery.
Good Monday morning. It is December 4th. Thanks for waking up with us here on Daybreak.
We'll talk traffic as we get back to work and back to school with Tara Hastings in just a minute.
But first, let's get you out the door with Marcus Bailey. Starting off this Monday, a little bit gloomy out there.
I think so. We at least dried out.
Yeah.
Kind of the drizzle and the chilly rain yesterday. Parts of the state may have to deal with kind of the same scenarios. So if weather were a Monday,
it's today.
It would be today. That's right. It's going to be a little chilly and gloomy, and sunshine really is going to come at a premium, even if it's not raining. Not a lot of sunshine, at least for the first half of the day. Tracker is quiet locally here. We do have some showers starting to kind of sneak in from southern Illinois, and it's part of this low that's spinning in the southern portions of Illinois and making its way toward Kentucky. Technically, it's moving away from central Indiana. There is a decent amount of moisture with it, but it's kind of tightly compacted here, so we don't anticipate widespread rain. But parts of the state will see some showers between now and lunchtime. We're at 34 now. Everybody's going to deal with the cloud cover here. Northeast wind at around 5 miles per hour. Here's Futurecast as we go hour by hour from now through noon. You see the showers kind of pinwheeling for the southern half or southern third of the state. Indy's going to be on the northern edge. Some of the southern metro counties have maybe a better chance for rain. Northern metro, you're probably going to be dry. Indy's right on that line. So any rain we get is going to be really, really light and nothing too significant. And it all should clear the state by lunchtime. The afternoon, I'm cautiously optimistic that we'll get some clouds to break and we may get at least a little bit of sunshine late in the day. Temperatures are going to be normal for this time of year, 33 at 8 o'clock, near 40 at noon. And I've got highs in the mid-40s later on into the day. About as chilly tomorrow. We may have another shot for some rain, maybe some snow mixing together in the morning. But hang in there. I do have a big warm-up late week. We'll time that out in my Storm Track 8 forecast in just a few minutes.
New details in about the breaking news we've been following this morning. Police say they have arrested one person and another remains on the loose after a carjacking that led to a police search. You're looking at a picture from where this ended near Emerson and 465. It started in Lawrence as an armed carjacking, according to police. Spokesperson tells us they used some kind of technology key in spotting the car in Beech Grove. That led to a nearly hour-long search of a neighborhood. Police also recovered a rifle that they believe was used in the initial carjacking.
Police are also investigating a deadly shooting on the northeast side of Indianapolis. It happened at around 6:45 last night on Crest Lane in a neighborhood south of 75th Street and Hague Road. Investigators say a female died at the scene but have not shared her age. So far, officers say no one is under arrest and it is not clear what led up to this shooting. State police want your help to solve a killing on I-65 near downtown. Investigators believe a man may have been shot inside his van as he drove on the highway. News 8's Amisha Ramsey joins us live downtown with the details we know so far. Amisha?
Well, good morning. State police are now seeking video evidence from drivers in the area. They say call if your car has cameras. A 911 call at 1:45 afternoon Sunday reported a man slumped over the wheel of a stopped car at I-65 near West Street and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. He was inside of a gray Nissan van at West Street exit ramp. Now, police say Luis Martinez was found unresponsive with bullet holes. He died at the scene. Now, detectives are now asking drivers with cameras-equipped vehicles on Sunday afternoon to contact state police. Now, police have not said if this is a case of road rage. However, state police have told us they've seen a spike in the number of road rage cases across Indianapolis. They are now asking witnesses to call Crime Stoppers anonymously for an award up to $1,000 if that tip leads to an arrest. For now, we'll send it back to the studio reporting live from downtown. Amisha Ramsey for Wish TV, wishtv.com, and like us on Facebook.
Of course, we want everyone to be able to track crime wherever and whenever it happens in Indianapolis. Grab your phone, scan the QR code that's on your screen right now. That'll take you to the Crime Watch 8 section of wishtv.com, and you'll see a map there to see if there has been any violence in your neighborhood.
In Colts Watch, the team is back in Indianapolis after pulling off their own version of the Music City Miracle against the Titans. It includes the rare comeback in overtime. Let's skip right to that overtime. Colts trailed 28-25, but the relatively new overtime rules give the Colts the ball for one chance to win. A pair of Gardner Minshew passes to Alec Pierce and Michael Pittman Jr. get the Colts the touchdown. You see it there. And the huge division win. The final score was 31-28.
A lot of us had seats by one another, so we. It was crazy. I mean, a lot of Colts fans.
Our Angela Moran was with the team in Nashville. She has more reaction from the Colts after that overtime thriller.
A few words were constantly repeated in the Colts locker room today. Wild, wacky, crazy, all of which exhibit the 31-28 overtime win over the Titans in Nashville. Why? Special teams. The Colts knew it would take explosive plays to beat the Titans. They got that from their punt return unit.
There's so much back and forth, and there's so much momentum swings in all these games, and just, obviously if they get a big play, it's like, how do you, bounce back from that? Same thing with us, keeping the momentum. But it's awesome to see our guys fight every single week and just keep finding ways to win.
Anytime you're playing in the quarterback position, the team's putting a lot of trust in you, to kind of lead the way. And you know what? Today we had an opportunity to go win a game for our team, and just couldn't be more happy and more proud of our group, and grateful for the opportunity I was given.
It really feels good to beat them back-to-back, because they beat us back-to-back, and we've been trading off. So, it just, feels good to just, give it back to them.
It's great. These divisional games especially, they count twice, like we say. So, people are super excited and excited to get back in there.
The beginning of the week, we knew it was going to be a dogfight, you know what I mean? And it's just going to come down to will and, being on your details and little things like that. And, just being able to get off the field and force a field goal. The offense, did a great job with finishing the game.
Where does this rank in terms of wildness in your career?
Yeah, definitely might be number one, to be honest. All the back and forth, just it was a crazy game.
The Colts have been priding themselves on being road warriors. This now the 5th win in 6 games on the road for the Colts. They would love to keep that momentum rolling into Cincinnati next week. We'll have you covered right here on Wish. For now in Nashville, I'm Angela Moran for Wish TV, wishtv.com, and like us on Facebook.
In Pacers Watch, the knockout round of the in-season tournament starts tonight. Here, Pacers host the Boston Celtics. The winner advances, the loser is out. Pacers had a great tune-up Sunday, beating the Heat in Miami without star guard Tyrese Halliburton. An upper respiratory infection kept him sidelined. No confirmation yet whether he'll play tonight. Coach Rick Carlisle wants to hear the home crowd today.
We need our building to be as loud and raucous as it possibly can, and we're going to need to throw a game out there that's exceptional. And I realize it, and I think our players realize it. Boston's coming into this thing with 2 days rest. We're coming into it with 1. But this is the NBA, and this is how the chips fall.
Winner of tonight's game moves on to the tournament semifinals in Las Vegas later this week. Tip-off at Gainbridge Fieldhouse is set for 7:30.
New on Daybreak, Israel Defense Forces are now expanding ground operations into all of Gaza. The military ordered more evacuations this morning and is vowing to hit South Gaza with no less strength. This comes after Israel defended Tel Aviv over the weekend. It launched at least a dozen Iron Dome interceptors on Saturday night. You can see them here in this video shooting into the sky. Israel has called its team of negotiators home from Qatar after reaching what they call a dead end in talks with Hamas. Now, many civilians in Gaza are running out of places to go. Most people fled south in the early days of the war. The United Nations estimates that up to 1.8 million people are displaced and says civilian suffering is too much to bear. U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin addressed what's next on Saturday.
Now, it would compound this tragedy if all that awaited Israelis and Palestinians at the end of this awful war was more insecurity, more rage, and more despair. Israelis and Palestinians have both paid too bitter a price to just go back to October 6th.
The United States has urged Israel to avoid significant new mass displacement of people in Gaza and to protect civilians. In the United States, the family of a Georgia security guard says he is doing well after an attack at the Israeli consulate in Atlanta. It happened Friday when a protester wrapped in a Palestinian flag tried to set herself on fire. Michael Harris is a security guard there and tried to stop the protester. Both Harris and the demonstrator are now recovering from third-degree burns. We have blurred photos of Harris's injuries because they are graphic. His family says he has burns on his hand, right leg, and left ankle. The Israeli consulate is praying for his recovery.
In Bloomington, the Jewish organization IU Hillel showed its support for Israel and for an IU basketball player during the women's game yesterday. The group held what they called a blue out and cheered on IU sophomore guard Yarden Garzon, who's from Israel. They posted these pictures on social media from the game against Stetson. Group says it handed out more than 500 free shirts that said, "We stand with Yarden, we stand with Israel."
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.